Hey y'all, it's your girl Gemini Jazz with House of Chiron, and we are back with another episode of Galactic Gossip. Welcome in, welcome back to my channel. If you are in fact new to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button while you are here so you won't miss a beat. I upload these every week, or at least I try and do my best because I got a full life. Okay, so if you are returning to my channel, welcome back. You know how we do. Thank you for being here and all those beautiful things. I hope last week was great for everyone. And now we are embarking on a new week full of astrological energy and transitions and changes and all that good stuff. All right, so before we dive into this week's energy, I would just have a few quick announcements. So the candles, the Chiron candles, the chakra collection is almost sold out of its first batch, which I am tremendously grateful and blessed. Like that's just it's been a very liberating and just a really joyous experience to see how much support I receive for this, and it's something that I enjoy, and being able to be recognized for your creativity and your artistry is just really dope, and just doing the things that you love. So I appreciate everyone who has purchased a candle. The root chakra is sold out, and I will let everyone know when the rooted, that's what it's called, rooted, the rooted candle is back in stock. That probably won't be until sometime in April, fingers crossed. So, you know, with all the things that I do, I wear many hats. Okay, so hopefully we are looking for a projection of having the rooted candle restocked in April. And then everyone else, you know, still have all the 6 other, you know, chakra candles to purchase, but they are dwindling, I will say. Okay, now, also, as always, we have the Celestial City membership that is still available for $33.33 per month. With that membership, you receive your monthly readings, your month ahead focused readings for all of your signs. You also receive 1 free Reiki session that is included in your membership. Is a collective Reiki with all the members. We do that once a month on the full moon. We have now, you know, switched the timing. It was at the very end of the month, but now that we have like the new moons at the very beginning of the month, it was just really not a good time to do that. So we have the Reiki sessions on the full moon, which is wonderful because it's a time for releasing. And then we have our new moon candle ceremony on every new moon, where we set our intentions together and do all those, you know, good, wonderful things and whatnot. And also you get like a reading as to, you know, what intentions you should be setting based on the energy of the astrology at that time with the new moons. Oh, excuse me. So it's really beneficial. But anyway, so that's just some of what they experience in the membership, along with getting like, you know, PDF documents and, you know, things on how to identify certain things in your chart and whatnot. So all of that is added in the membership. Also, what else do I have? I have the membership, I have the candles. Oh, I have the readings. So the year ahead readings are still available for $16.99, and you can find those on my website. All the things can be found in the description box below. I also have the month ahead readings that are available for $10.10 for all signs. So you can buy 1, you can buy 3, you can buy all 12 if you want. But they are $10.10 for the month of March. You get that projected look ahead of what is coming for you, for your signs, for your energy. This is something that is offered with the membership. So if you buy 3, if you buy your sun, moon, and rising, you might as well just join the membership and just get all 12. That's just how I'm just going to throw it out there. So anywho, I believe that is all the announcements. Oh no, I have one more. Okay, so next week I'm going to be on vacation because it's much needed, and it's spring break for my littles. I have 4 littles, and so they range from 5 to almost 17 now. So yep, we're all going on vacay for spring break, but they don't know about it. They don't know. So yeah, I won't be here. So I'm trying my best to get all of my work done ahead of time. So if the Galactic Gossip Weekly for next week is a little late, y'all know why. It's because I just came back and I'm just trying to shuffle and get things done. Okay, so just bear with me. It will post, I promise. Okay, but okay, that wraps up excuse me, my hair is in my eye. That wraps up all of the announcements that I have. All right, now get into this energy because we have some things going on this week. We're going to cover the energy for the week. So this is week 3 of March, and this is going to range from March the 13th all the way through March the 19th. Okay, and so starting off at the very beginning of this week, we have the sun making that conjunction to Neptune at 22 degrees in Pisces. And this happens once a year where the sun aligns with Neptune. And this is like igniting those intuitive and creative abilities that we have, that creative side that comes out of us, that's naturally like innate in all of us has some aspect. Now we know that Neptune is watery, it's vulnerable, it's soft, it's dreamy. And so when it aligns with the sun, you know, it's like this collision that happens with the sun, it amplifies that energy of Neptune. So this is going to give us that guidance to tap into the planetary energies of Neptune even more, right? Because the sun represents our focus, it's our goals, and it's also our personality, it's our vitality, right? So the ability to flow with our intuition and embrace that sensual side, like that Neptune energy, and get out of our rational mind is going to really be helpful for us, especially when we need to see beyond what's right in front of us, right? Because we need to be able to have a broader view of things. You know, that Neptune energy can create rose-colored lenses. It can like put a veil over our eyes. But when it comes into that conjunction with Neptune, with the sun, it can lift that veil. You can see things a little bit clearly, right? But also, you know, depending on how it's, you know, aspected natally, it can also create a little bit of confusion. So as we are guided to soften our gazes and accept, you know, ourselves with compassion, accept our situations with compassion, accept others with compassion, a new point of view might be birthed at this time. Maybe even new beliefs about something could develop under this influence of this Neptunian Piscean energy, right? The sun and Neptune both in Pisces. And keep in mind that Jupiter is there also. So while both Neptune and the sun is navigating through the murky waters of Pisces, you know, things might not necessarily be as clear as we hope. You know, communication might be a little off, our perceptions might be a little off, the way we are expressing ourselves might not be, you know, how we normally do, might not be able to really assert ourselves in the way that we desire, but we are able to assert ourselves from a different space. And right now, this energy is telling us to embrace what that space is, because it's opening us up to experience something differently. Okay, so it's important not to take things so seriously, especially on this day. This can range, the energy of it can range from anywhere from 1 to like 3 to 5 days or so, like that, because that transit over Neptune with the sun, it moves, you know, about 1.5 degrees or so every day. So for it to get out of that conjunction, we might feel this energy for up to a week. Okay. Now, like I mentioned, it's not an ideal time to take anything too seriously. Like, don't make serious decisions at this time. More so tap into your creative side, right? It's today is, on this day with under this energy, it's the best time to utilize this to focus on like creative projects and endeavors, our intimate relationships, any kind of artistry, right? Maybe even holistic concentrations as well. Since Pisces is that spiritual aspect and that Pisces energy is so strong right now, it's important that we do not, or that more so that we do enforce, you know, that we basically, it's important that we don't allow our boundaries to dissolve under this energy. It's very possible because that Pisces energy, right? So it's necessary for us to keep those boundaries and enforce those boundaries, so that way we can avoid that martyr behavior, those tendencies, also that Neptunian Piscean escapism that comes with it, right? Avoid that, you know, and it's kind of like keep your boundaries up. Make sure that you have an understanding of what you can and cannot do. Don't commit to doing something or taking something on that's serious when you know on an internal level that that's not possible for you. And then you become a victim of the circumstances that you created for yourself, right? We're not doing that. Okay, so just kind of make a note, a mental note that that is a possibility, that energy might be floating around. If it's not you doing it, then you might be on the receiving end of it, okay? Now, other addictive behaviors might come up to the surface at this time, but you know, that's that alternate expression of Pisces. We have the high expression, we have the other expressions, right? So sit with yourself on this day. That's very important to do so. So that way you can go within, you can see what the soul is saying and what it is guiding you to do and what it's telling you that it needs, especially in order to, you know, release whatever is necessary before the dawn of the new year, which happens in about a week. Okay, so Aries season is most definitely on our horizons. Now, also moving forward, we have the sun, which is in Pisces still, making a sextile to the North Node, which is our divine purpose, right? And that's the North Node is in Taurus, and this happens on March the 16th. 2022. So our subconscious efforts towards new developments is going to really be shining on this day, right? The sun is making this serenade, as you know, it's kind of like sweet talk in the North Node and giving it all the tips and tools and, you know, throwing some game out there on how you can achieve things, you know. So that's my visual for y'all, okay? So, you know, heights that have not yet been reached can come into our forward focus, and they could really become, you know, in our awareness of, you know, what is possible, right? You know, those possibilities can illuminate within our awareness at this time, right? It's kind of like the sun giving us the game of how to achieve things. So also keep in mind that the sun is our ego, and the ego is developing in a way that's going to provide a boost in our abilities to achieve, right? So it's a healthy expression of the ego. Now, although that sextile is, you know, aspecting, you know, the sun in the North Node, that sextile aspect, it indicates ease and positive flow. Right. So there is still some level of work that is needed in order for the progress to happen, especially for the progress to happen in the way that we desire, right? That Taurus energy is about desire and what it is that we find pleasurable. So, you know, although it's going to be an easier kind of manifestation of these things, we have to keep in mind that work is still needed, right? So whatever we put in is what we will get back. Keep that in mind. Now, the key is to allow our egos to align with our sense of self in order to obtain those next steps in meeting those purposeful missions that we are set out to achieve in this lifetime. Now, utilizing that willpower, right, that sun energy with the conscious efforts, right, that North Node energy is going to assist us in aligning to the North Node divine destiny, right? So making sure that you are asserting yourself in the ways that you desire that aligns to your values. So that way you can be in alignment to achieve what it is that you desire, right? That divine destiny. Now, today is likely to show us some previous lessons that we have already learned. So that way we can utilize those lessons to stand on them and push forward. Because as the sun is making a sextile to the North Node, it's making a trine to the South Node. So this is going to be giving us that ability to utilize what we've experienced before to stand on it and propel ourselves forward. Okay. Now, moving forward, we have Mercury, which is in Pisces now, making a sextile to Uranus in Taurus. And so this happens on March the 17th, and both Mercury and Uranus, as I've always mentioned, it governs our nervous system and assists with our limbic system, right? So from the medical astrology perspective, today we can actually balance the unexpected changes that typically would trigger us. We can balance them with much greater ease. All right, we may face some unexpected changes that cause us to, like, you know, shift our direction or maybe even course correct a little bit, but we can do so with ease, right? It's not going to trigger us to shake our worlds as, you know, it would if it was like a square or an opposition, maybe even a conjunction, right? So on another note, the same energy that typically would create anxiety actually creates a heightened sense of awareness, and it still can create anxiety because we are so aware. Our senses are stimulated under this influence. So just kind of keep that in mind as well. And we're going to have much more insight. We're going to be able to see things that typically we would overlook, right? And what this is doing is also opening us up, right? Having this increased ability to give us, you know, the skill to remain open in order to find solutions in ways that are like normally out of our typical approach, right? So finding new innovative ways to get to a common goal or in solution, right? So keep that in mind if this energy is opening us up to new perspectives as well. Now, socializing with others, because that Mercury energy is all about, relating and communicating. So socializing with others is going to be really great, especially if you are holding conversations with people that come from different backgrounds, have different perspectives, possibly maybe even, witty, funny, kind of quirky energy. You're going to be able to learn something new from people today, especially if you are stepping out of your comfort zone and connecting and networking with people who have a different background, a different walk of life with you. You can actually develop, new friendships under this energy. You can also develop, connections that put you in places where you desire to be. All right, so keep that in mind. Now, the big energy for this week is this full moon that happens on that happens at 27 degrees in Virgo on March the 18th. And so as we embark on this new astrological year, right, because we're almost there to the, sun moving into Aries. And so as we are embarking on this new astrological year, we first must come face to face with this practical full moon in Virgo. Now, this full moon is, as all full moons, they're a time for releasing, and it's perfect for us to shed what cannot tag along with us as we move into spring, right? Because once the sun moves into Aries, it is the start of the spring equinox, and it also marks the new astrological year, okay? So Virgo is, that sign that represents the practical side of serving others, right? Similar to the Piscean energy, right? It's polarity. Pisces, the sun is in Pisces right now. And so the moon is in its opposition and it's in Virgo. So similar to each other, just in a different way. Okay, now the sun opposes this full moon, right? Right as it's nearing a close end to its transit through Pisces. So our focus has been on dreaming the dreams that we dare to envision all of Pisces season, right? And this full moon in Virgo is going to help us find that that detailed practicality of making these things tangible, bringing our dreams to realities. And as the moon comes to its fullest illumination in the sky, it's going to be making an aspect to Pluto, right? So that trine to Pluto is a favorable trine. It's a favorable aspect, right? But it's going to be adding a sense of power, a sense of dynamic energy to it, right? So more like willpower and focus, right? And it's going to help us with what we need to manifest and magnetize our desires. Now we also have this understanding that, the shedding process that's necessary for us to float into Aries season in order for us to pack light and bright into Aries season. So now we have this understanding like, okay, some things must crumble, some things must be let go of in order for us to receive more and, plant new seeds. It's kind of like tilling to the yard before you plant the seed. You got to let some of that shrub go. It can't because nothing can grow with weeds, right? So it's kind of like excavating the weeds. All right, now keep in mind that Neptune and Jupiter are also trying to sweet talk each other in the sky right now, and they're right next to the sun. And so this is adding a bit of softness and optimism to the energy that's happening with this full moon. And so it's really a magical time filled with opportunities of, abundance and, things of all kinds like that, and opportunities in general. And so even though we have some challenges going on with other energies, like we still have Venus and Mars kind of still in that conjunction in Aquarius, where they just recently moved. And so that's kind of adding a little tension, and that energy is squaring off with Uranus and Taurus and whatnot. And we still have Saturn there in Aquarius. So we still have some things that are challenging, but this is giving us a magical time to let go of what has not worked and what will not work and what cannot go with us as we move into this new astrological year. All right, so now wrapping up the rest of this week, on the same day as the full moon, we have two more aspects, two more things that are going on, right? That Venus that's in Aquarius is going to be making a sextile to Chiron, which is in Aries. And so with that Chiron energy, we know that Chiron is about our deepest wounds, right? Those triggers and those traumas, those things. It's like, I saw this meme and it said, Chiron is proof of the what did it say? I'm trying to remember. Something about you being shot and having a bullet wound, and Chiron is being Chiron is the proof that you survived or something like that. I don't know, about being shot and having a bullet wound. I don't know. Either way, it was profound, and I thought it was dope. But that's what this is about. So with this Venus energy making this sextile to Chiron, right? It's like at the time of this full moon, it's like we finally come to this understanding of what our deepest wounds and the purpose of those things, right? And now we can offer this with support to others, right? So if you even have this natally in your chart, this is something like if you have Venus sextile your Chiron in your chart, you are typically the type of person to support others through their problems, through their traumas, because you have an understanding of what is needed because of what you've gone through, right? And so recognizing the trials and the wounded perceptions of our self-image, because Chiron is in Aries and it's the I am, okay? This is going to assist us in growth, right? Assist us in with the knowledge and the power, that's bringing that added value to what it is that we have to offer others from our experiences of trauma and wounding and shame and guilt and all those things, right? That's the Chiron energy. Now, our testimonies can help those who need the support now, right? While navigating through their healing journey or going through whatever it is that they're going through. So you might find yourself connecting with people that just need a listening ear or need the support that you can offer, that you hold. Now, we are likely to channel this dynamic energy into artistic talents. That would be the best way to express yourself with this, art, music, poetry, maybe even dance, and channeling it into something artistic to express yourself. This is also something that's going to be very beneficial. And so this is a positive aspect, right? Especially with that sextile. And sextiles, yes, it creates ease and flow, but like I mentioned before, it's about work. So it could be previous work that you've done and now you're receiving or you're understanding, from the work that you've done, right? And that Chiron energy can cause us to kind of become a bit introverted due to that internal reflection and the processing that comes with Chiron. And so allow the process, allow the introversion if it's necessary in order for you to create something beautiful, whatever that is, whether it's a beautiful connection, a beautiful, piece of artwork, something that you can share with others to express, love and compassion for people and, the things that we all go through in this lifetime. All right. Now, also same day, Sun is going to be sextile in Pluto, which is in Capricorn. So Sun is in Pisces, it's almost out of Pisces, we're almost in Aries season. And so as the Sun is sextile in Pluto, this happens on March the 18th, when we're having this full moon, while we're having this aspect to Chiron with Venus. So this is when willpower is meeting ambition, okay? And so we will have this profound focus to achieve our goals as the Sun receives this support from Pluto, right? Pluto and the Sun is like when the ego, the vitality meets drive, determination, focus, and passion and devotion, right? So Pluto will give us that power to create a demolition project in the areas of our lives where we feel we need restoration, right? So something hasn't been working, something probably needs to be chopped down, it's going to tell us, hey, demolish that. It doesn't work anymore. We need to maybe even fill these cracks in the foundation or just completely do an excavation of this and build a new foundation. So now is the perfect time to do so before we go into Aries season. So our determination to create the lives that we desire is going to push us to demolish whatever is hindering that goal. Pluto governs fears, obsessions, power struggles. So with the Sun aspecting these areas, right, we're prone to see what has been hiding in the shadows and hindering our progress, whether it's our own fear, our own, self-sabotage, obsessions and addictions to certain things that are holding us back, whatever they are. We're going to see what that is, and it's going to give us that willpower to just push beyond it, right? So any limitations are basically going to be brought to our awareness, and we can make those constructive changes that are needed. All right, now last but not least, we have Venus, which is in Aquarius, squaring Uranus in Taurus, and this happens on March the 19th. And so this energy is kind of like coming exact anyway now, since Venus has moved into Aquarius with Mars. So tension, like I was mentioning before. And Uranus is about liberation, right? And it's liberating us from the status quo, what is deemed normal and traditional, right? Going along just to get along. So it's like liberating us to try new things and always innovate and evolve. So this is going to be forcing us to find new and exciting experiences, but it comes with, challenge, right? Because that square energy, and it's squaring the planet of love and money. So we are prone to experience challenges within our relationship with others, maybe even the relationship with ourselves, our relationship with money, our material possessions, however. But what it's helping us do is to look for new and innovative ways to experience pleasure within our relationships and the freedom with our finances, all of those things. So this will cause us to see experiences from an open-minded point of view. That's that Uranus energy. So there may be repeated patterns that are finally brought to our awareness, because Uranus is also about, consciousness, in the sense is more so like the collective consciousness, that awareness. So that way that comes to the surface, so we can do some self-reflection. We can also consider changes and what those changes may be. Now, on another note, it's important for us to watch our money and impulsive spending, especially if you have a habit with that, because this influence of this planetary alignment is going to breed just that. You might find, oh, this is a great deal, and then you just splurge and you didn't think that you had something else to put this money on, and now you're having to consolidate and rectify, these situations. So just kind of keep that in mind. Also, don't just randomly get into a relationship right now, because that Venus square Uranus is very flighty energy. Any relationships that are developed in this energy may not have a sense of longevity, right? So keep that in mind. And also don't make any rash decisions about a pre-existing relationship either. Wait it out. So that's all I have for y'all for this week. Hopefully I get the other week done before I leave on vacation. I leave on Monday. So yeah, on the 14th. So, and I won't be back until the weekend. So I'm gonna be gone for quite some time, a couple of days. So hopefully I can get, week 4 done. But in the event I do not, it's just going to be late. And yeah, so I hope y'all have a wonderful week, and hit the description box for all the things that I have. And yeah, I'll see y'all soon. Bye.